back, everybody. We are doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We're coming in live from a new location because I'm visiting friends. I have to have a social life sometime between our lives, and this is me having it. I am gonna scoot these cameras just a little bit more, try to even out this background thing. Give me just a second, and then we will begin. If you're just joining in for the first time and you have no idea what we do 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching every single day, Monday through Sunday, right now, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I think the cameras are set up a little bit low compared to our usual setup, so I might be a little bit cut off. It will be okay. All right, what we're going to do is start with our hip cars. All right. Hip cars are all about moving your legs through their full... What are you talking about? Yes, it is. It is most definitely online. Refresh your computer. We're having some technical difficulties. I'm sorry, give me a second. I am definitely live on YouTube right now.
No, the sound.
The sound is not... No. Oh. That is correct. The sound is not working because my microphone is way over here and not attached to my face. All right, let's try that again. Che says, yes, we can hear you. Thank you for double checking for me in TikTok universe. This microphone is actually attached to YouTube and the earbud is attached to TikTok. So you should have been able to hear me. So I'm glad that was working. But the mic I forgot was for my face. And now we're ready to begin. All right, let's go. First thing we're going to do is called hip cars. CARS stands for controlled articulated rotations, and these are all about moving your legs through their maximum range of motion using your own muscle power. Okay, I'm going to scoot these cameras back just a little bit more because I am a little bit low to the ground. Let's see. Angling them up. All right. Whew. What we're going to do is start by lifting this knee as high as possible. It's going to be very likely that if you pulled on your knee, you can get it higher, but I want you to use your own muscle power to see how high you can bring your knees. From here, we're going to open up that hip directly to the side, and I want you to focus on keeping this hip in the same spot, and opening up the legs wide, all right? From here, I want you to bring that ankle up as high as you can, but if you only get to horizontal first, that's going to be fine. From here, try your best. Bring the ankle up. Flex the hamstrings. And when you're feeling really tired from that, bring the leg down and back. All right? We're focusing on flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, feeling the stretch here in the front of the hip, in the hip flexor, and that is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side, and we're going to keep on doing these until our hips are tired. I'm just kidding. We're just doing 10 left and 10 to the right. I'm going to adjust this camera one more time. Sorry. Give me a second so I can even this out a little bit. Boom. Ooh. My hip bones are stiff a lot. I do the Asian squat easily. Ooh. There's a lot more going on in your hips than just those muscles that you need for the Asian squat. I'm going to take off my socks real quick because the floor is a little slippery right here. And I feel like I need a little bit more grip. So, excuse me while I do that. All right, hip guard. Let's do this. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. We are lifting that knee up, opening it up to the side, rotating leg to horizontal, rotating some more, bring that ankle up as high as you can, then bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, hip flexor in the front, getting stretched. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5. If you're struggling a little bit with balance, feel free to use your hands, push, lean, hold on to something to give you a little bit of support. My hand is resting up against this wall right underneath this painting, and that's all I need. For me, for you, it might be a little bit different. All right. I think that's 8. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open. ankle up, down and back. I think that's 9. Last one, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, and that is 10 hip cars on the first side. Do a little wiggle, do a little dance, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to do the other side. Same thing, other leg. Whew. Take a second to breathe. Keep the core nice and tight, and let's begin. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 1 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. Keep on working those muscles. Really try to open up and bring your legs as high as you can. 6, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, and that's 10. Oh man, those are our hip cars. If you got something nice to sit on, go ahead and take a break. But it's probably a little bit better for you if you keep on moving your hips. We're going to move on into reverse hip cars. We're going to do the same basic motions that we were just doing for the hip cars, but we're going to do them in reverse hip cars. What I want you to focus on is keeping this core really, really, really strong, really, really tight. That's because the first move that we do in reverse hip cars looks like this. We're bringing the leg down and back. All right. When it's the first thing that you're doing, you usually have a lot of energy, have a lot of excitement, and it tends to be the case that you start doing some torquing in your low back. Maybe not intentionally, but it happens, and it looks a little bit like this. You stick that leg back, you keep on trying to reach that leg back, and all of a sudden you're putting a whole bunch of pressure here in the low back every time you kick your leg back. We don't want that because it's going to make your back a little irritated. It's going to make it less comfortable as you do these reps. So keep that core tight like you're bracing for a punch, and that's it. That's everything. Let's go. Stand up straight, core tight, hold on to something for balance, leg down and back. From here, we're lifting the leg directly to the side, getting that to horizontal first. Then we're going to rotate the ankle up, rotate the ankle down, then we're going to bring the knee forward. All right, that's 1 rep. We're doing 10 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 1, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2, back, side, ankle up, down, knee, back, side, ankle, down, knee. That's 4, back, side, ankle, down, knee. 5, back, side, ankle, down, knee. That's 6. 4 more, back, side, ankle, down, knee. 7, back, side, ankle, down, knee. 8? Did we get to 8? Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 9. Last 1, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh man, that's hip cars in reverse. 1 leg is done. We are 75% of the way done with our hip cars. We got 1 more hip left to do. Let's take a quick break, do a little dance, shake those hips out, and let's go. Again, keep that core real tight, real strong so that you're not torquing while you're working on bringing that leg back. And we're about ready to begin. Let's do it. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 5. We got 5 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8. Last 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 9, last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, oh man. Those are hip cars. We did 10 on each side forward, and we did 10 on each side in reverse. So we've done a total of 40 hip cars. Hopefully your hips are feeling a little bit looser, feeling a little bit more mobile. You're probably very tired, and we're gonna move on to our second warm-up exercise. If you're just joining in, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern to practice the most important quality, consistency. So if you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, you want to have better hip mobility, work on those squats, and work on those side splits, this is the place to be. Keep on hanging out, and we'll be working on all those things like right now, or in the next couple minutes. Cool? All right, second warm-up exercise is called the elephant walk. What I want you to do is get into this L shape. If you get stuck a little bit higher up, maybe you don't quite get into an L, maybe you're a little higher, and that's absolutely okay. It's part of the process, all right? For a lot of us, you're going to feel your low back get super tense. If you have an old injury, perhaps, you're going to feel your low back get super tense. And what I want you to do is I just want you to breathe. Fold forward, relax, and hopefully that tension in your low back will go away. Keep on breathing. Once you realize your hamstrings are feeling that stretch, we're about ready to begin the actual elephant walk. All right? What I want you to do is bring one knee into this bent leg position. I want you to bring the other leg straight, and I want you to fold that belly button down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Oh, feel that hamstring stretch here. Feel the hamstring stretch here. Slightly different hamstring stretches. And I want you to switch your legs. So instead of this leg bent, it's going to straighten out. Instead of this leg being straight, it's going to bend. All right, we're going to keep on switching back and forth while trying to bring our belly button down. Go ahead and start. Oh, this should not feel super easy. It should not feel super nice. You might be feeling it in your hamstrings. You might be feeling it in this area just below the glutes. That's where your hamstrings turn into tendons and attach to your pelvis. So that's what you are feeling. And you might also feel a little tingly sensation, maybe even a burning sensation in your calves and in your toes. That is often called nerve flossing, nerve gliding, nerve stretching. You can Google that stuff on the side, but as long as you're not doing this super explosively, powering through every single rep really explosively, you'll be fine. All right, hopefully, after all that explanation and random information that you didn't need, we have gotten a little bit more comfortable in our elephant walks. You might notice, that starting position, that starting stretch, that started pretty rough, it's not so bad. It's okay, I can do a couple more of these, it's no big deal. If you're feeling that way, it's time to bring your belly button down deeper into the stretch. Bring them down. Bring them down. Bring them down. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our elephant walks. Pop into a little bit of a squat, and then come back into standing. When you fold forward for a long time and your low back is relaxing for a long time, sometimes the muscles forget they have to do things. So when you pop into a little bit of a squat, helps you reactivate your back muscles and helps you get into whatever you gotta do after this. All right, so in general, if you're folding forward a lot, pop into a quick squat before you come back into standing. All right, that is part 1 of our second warm-up exercise. We got a part 2. What does that entail? Part 2 is about thoracic rotation. What we're trying to do is rotate the spine, all right? And what we want to happen is this. Reaching as far back as you can, feeling the whole entire middle chunk of the spine from your low back up to basically your neck. Get a twisting sensation. But the reason why this is a part 2 is because we're going to do this from this position where one knee is bent, one leg is straight, and we're folded forward, where we were doing the elephant walks before. Okay? From here, we're going to take our hand from the bent knee side. We're going to reach across the body, push against the outside of his leg. We're going to use that pushing motion to help rotate the chest. Once your chest is rotated, extend the arm up into the air. This is the other arm, not the one pushing off the leg arm. And look up at that hand. Your neck is also rotating, is also joining in on the fun. And I want you to reach as far back as you can. Once you feel like you've reached as far as you can, I want you to take a small inhale and exhale. On the exhale, reach a little further and come on back down center. Whew, that is half a rep. We're going to do 5 of these in total, so let's finish number 1. Other leg is bent, other leg is straight. Arm from the bent leg side reaches across the body. Open up that chest. Reach the hand up into the air. Look at that hand with your neck, with your eyeballs. Breathe, inhale, exhale, reach. Inhale, exhale, reach. Oh, that is 1 rep. We got 5 in total, so there's 4 more to go. Let's go. Bent leg, leg straight. Arm from the bent leg side reaches across. Push against your shin bone. Open up that chest. Reach your arm behind you. Breathe. And other side. That's 2. Keep going. And open. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Reach. That's 3. 2 more. Open. Breathe. Open. Breathe. That's 4. Last 1. Reach. Reach, 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 reach. Breathe. 4. Is this 5? I can't remember if that was 5. We're going to do 1 more. It might be 5. It might be 6. Reach. Open. Breathe. And last 1. Oh, those are thoracic rotations. If your shoulders are feeling real tired because they don't do anything remotely close to reaching behind you, and you've just done it for a whole bunch of seconds right now, that's good. And don't worry, we don't do anything else for the shoulders anyway, so that was all you got for that. All right, what we're going to do next is called the Cossack switch. It is our 3rd warm-up exercise, and I'm going to demonstrate it real quick, and then we'll talk about how to get into it comfortably for everybody, okay? I see a comment come in, so I'm going to take a quick look, and then we'll move back. Cal Kings asks, do I have to keep back arched while doing this? When we are doing the thoracic rotations, you do not have to keep your back arched. In fact, I don't know what it looks like from the side, so I'll demonstrate it right now, and you tell me what it looks like, and I'll try to peek at the camera in a second. We're going to get right back into that. For the sake of this demonstration, we're going to get right back into that thoracic rotation position. 1 leg is bent, 1 leg is straight. Bent leg's arm is reaching across to the other leg. We are reaching, we are opening, breathing, reaching, 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 reaching. I'm pretty sure my back is mostly straight for that whole entire movement. Yeah, so it should not be super arched like this, right? It should be relatively straight. Cool, hope that helps. Okay, whew. Wow, where are we going? Cossack switches, all right? 3rd warm-up exercise. What we're going to do looks a little bit like this. We're going to drop all of our weight down onto 1 leg. We're going to pop into a deep squat. This other leg is over here, chilling, all right? From here, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side. We're going to pause here for a second, chill for a little bit, and then we're going to come back. That is the Cossack switch. For most of us, it's going to be rather hard to jump right into that. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out our ankles, we're going to stretch out our hips, and we're going to prepare ourselves for the actual movement. All right, what I want you to do is come into a squat where you pull your knees into your chest. All right, and I want you to lean forward a little bit so that your heels are coming off the ground, and you're feeling that stretch in your Achilles tendon. You're feeling that folding sensation happening in the front of your ankle. All right, that's it. Chill, relax. Once you're comfortable in this position, I want you to do a little wiggle from side to side. Get those hips moving. We're going to be putting them through way more when we do the actual Cossack switches. So this is just some light preparation, okay? Whew. Oh. The Cossack switch is really good for you because of 2 things. 1, you're working on this deep squat position, but with one leg at a time. You're also doing basically a side split, but with one leg at a time. And you're building up a whole bunch of strength, building a whole bunch of comfort in these extreme ranges of motion while you're doing the Cossack switches, all right? So they're super powerful exercises. If you had to do just like 1 or 2 exercises on any given day randomly because you had a couple of minutes to lose, try some Cossack switches. Cool? All right. Hopefully, your ankles are a little bit more relaxed. Your hips are practiced with their folding skills. And now we're going to get into some Cossack switches for realsies. I want you to take your hands from this position where they were pulling your knees in. Now just put them straight down into the ground. All right? Nothing fancy. Stick your hands down. From here, we're going to extend one leg out to the side. And we're going to focus on getting this heel down onto the ground. When we're shifting our weight from side to side, we need a lot of stability and a lot of balance. And one of the easiest ways to get a whole bunch of stability is to have this heel down on the ground. All right? So you get into whatever position you need to for your heel to be down. If you're really flexible, you can get super low to the ground with your heel down. If you're not as flexible, you need to be higher up like this. That is totally fine. All right? So let's begin. I want you to get as low as you can while keeping that heel down, and I want you to scoot your butt over to the other side. If you're higher up, it might be really easy. If you're lower to the ground, you might be struggling, in which case you can put your hands down to help you over to the other side. That is basically 1 rep, and we're ready to go. We're going to do 10 of these in total, and as we go, I'll explain other stuff. All right? So hands down, scoot your butt over, pause, squish, get low, come on back. Pause, squish, get low, come on back. That's 1. We're doing 10 of these in total. Here's 2. Keep going. Back over. And 3. If you're feeling really strong and you don't want to put your hands down anymore, feel free to not do that. If you're still feeling strong, you feel like those are still too easy, you can try to sit up a little bit straighter. Instead of folding forward like this, I want you to lengthen your spine. Feel like there's a magic rope tugging from the tippy top of your head up into the ceiling. And that is, I think, 5. Keep going. Ooh, come on over, squish, compress, come on back, squish, compress. If your inner knees, this area, is starting to get a little bit achy, and you need to take a little bit of a break from this, come on over, squish. Then instead of coming directly to the side, come up a little bit higher, come across, and then come back down. So that we get both the benefit of that intense ankle stretch, that hip stretch, and this leg getting stretched out, but we don't put a whole bunch of pressure on the inside of our knee because we went up and around. All right? I think this is 8. So we got 2 more reps to do. Up, across, and down. Up, across, and down. That's 9. Last one. Across, squish, make count. Last one. Oh, that's 10. We just wrapped up 10 Cossack switches. And that is all of our warm-up. We're ready for the meat of our show. It's time to get into some stretches, okay? What we've done so far has been to warm up our muscles, warm up our joints, get ourselves prepared so that we can have the best possible stretches. And yeah, that's it. We're getting into the stretches. Let's go. The first stretch that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. What we are going to do is going to look a little bit like this. We're going to drop one knee into the ground. We're going to extend one leg out in front. We're going to fold forward, bring our belly buttons down to our legs. That's the basic posture of the stretch. And this knee is going to be down on the ground holding a lot of weight. So if you need to, grab a cushion, grab an old towel, grab some flip-flops, grab your dog's bed, stick it right here under your knee, give it a little bit of padding, and we'll be ready to go. Cool? In the meantime, while you're grabbing those things, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching, hip mobility work. I think we started about 27, 28 minutes ago. We do this every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Sunday. So if you need a little bit of help staying consistent, you need a little bit of help trying to get into stretching, getting more time stretching, this is the place to be. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, and I think it's time. Let's start with our hamstring stretches. Once you have Whatever you need to pad your knees. I'm not going to use anything today. I want you to keep your knees together and drop them both down on that cushion real quick. All right? From here, I want you to look down at your hips. I want you to see how your hips are positioned. Your left and your right is directly across from each other and below you, right? When we get into this next position, where the leg is extended out in front, ready to fold, I want your hips to be in that same position, all right? Oftentimes, we get tempted to start doing like a front split, so one leg starts going way, way, way forward, the other leg starts going back a little bit, and then all of a sudden you realize you're twisting, all right? We don't want that, so bring that leg back in, square up those hips, and we're ready to begin. I'm going to rotate my body so that you don't have to stare at the top of my head for the next couple of minutes, and you can not move at all because I cannot see the top of your head at all from here. We're focusing on bringing the belly button down into the ground. Whew. Ah, ha, ha. That is how we're starting the stretch. When you're here, I want you to imagine that your calves are relaxing. I want you to imagine that your feet are relaxing. I want you to imagine your glutes are relaxing. I want you to imagine your low back is relaxing. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Fold deeper into the stretch. All right? We're going to do something that I call inhale, exhale, fold. It's not a very good name, but it's very descriptive. We're going to take a big breath in with the inhale. Then we're going to slowly exhale a whole bunch of air. And while we exhale, I want you to fold as much as you can. Bring that belly button down to your thigh. Okay? Let's give it a try. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Okay, we are in a much deeper hamstring stretch, and it's going to feel crazy. That is the point. Try to keep on breathing. Keep on breathing. Relax. Flop. Let your body chill. And imagine your calves relaxing. Imagine your toes, your feet relaxing. Imagine your glutes relaxing. Imagine your low back relaxing. Okay? When you're doing this stretch, I want you to focus on bringing the belly button down to the ground. I don't want you to be trying to stick your face into your knee, because you start putting a whole bunch of pressure into your neck, into your upper back when you do that. And this isn't about those muscles. It's about the hip folding forward. Okay? So, if you're relaxed and your neck is folding forward and you're bending, fine. But if you're working really hard trying to stick your face into your knee, you've gone too far. Chill. Relax. Cool? All right. We're going to do one more inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale and fold. That is intense. Oh, breathe. Relax. If you're unable to relax at all because your brain is incredibly preoccupied with the sensation coming from your hamstrings, take those fingers, take that hand in, smash them into your hamstrings, massage them, roll around, stab your fingers into your muscles, distract your brain from the stretch, and remember to breathe. 30, 29, 28, 27. I forgot to tell you, we hold the stretch for like 30 seconds. 24, 23, 22, 21. Keep on trying your best to relax. And as you relax, fold a little bit deeper into the stretch. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. Whew. Hopefully, you saw where you started right at the first fold, and you got to see where you ended and noticed how much deeper you are. If you take a couple seconds preparing yourself, getting ready, pushing a little bit deeper, you can get a whole bunch more out of 30 seconds of stretching. Okay? We're going to switch over. to the other leg. And same thing, dropping one knee into the ground. Hopefully you have some cushioning, some padding for the knee. My knee not, and is a little bit tired now. I'm not gonna lie. From here, I want you to extend the leg out in front. Remember your hips are squared so they're perpendicular right in front of you. And we're folding that belly button down into the leg. Let's go. Breathe. Relax. Chill. Fold forward. And when you're ready, it's time to inhale, exhale, fold. You ready? Well, you don't got a choice. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Wow, my hamstring is super tight today. I can tell that it is unhappy with me with the stretch. If you're struggling, that's okay. You can experiment a little bit with bending your knee ever so slightly. That will help reset your brain so that you're actually focusing on the hamstring stretch, not getting stuck on something else. Don't go crazy with the knee bend, just a slight knee bend to take a little bit of pressure off, and that should help you with the fold. Cool? All right. Keep on folding, breathing, chilling, and we're going to do one more inhale, exhale, fold. All right? Inhale. Exhale and fold. My left leg is my less flexible leg. I have an old hamstring injury, and it takes way longer to get remotely close to how flexible the other leg is, or how at least how far forward I can fold on the other leg. And it's way less fun on this leg, and that's okay. Whew. Okay, we've done the inhale, exhale, fold twice, I'm pretty sure, so let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Keep on breathing, keep on chilling, keep on relaxing those muscles in your calves, in your foot, in your glutes, in your low back. If your hamstrings can relax, great. If they can't, we tried our best. If your brain is super focused on how tight it is in your hamstrings right now, take your hands, give them a light massage, squeeze them, poke them, prod them. Try to take your mind off of how intense that stretch is with some new sensations. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. Pull your leg back in. Come on out of it. And grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. That is our first stretch. We got 4 more to do. We're going to move on into our second stretch. It's called the butterfly stretch. I'm going to take a peek over here and see what's going on in the chat. The Alexander on YouTube says, nice. Welcome back, Alexander. And I'm going to take a quick scroll over on TikTok. Paul Diesel says, so good. Much appreciated. Amazing. Che sends the tappy emojis. Thank you for the support, Che. Appreciate it. And Danny says, stability, heel down. Yes. When your foot is flat down on the ground and the whole entire foot is down and you're balancing the weight in between your foot. So maybe your foot is down, but you're going something like this. Or your heels. Sorry, how do I explain this? Your foot is kind of like leaning off to one side like this, like you're already tipping over, right? It's not going to make you that much more stable. When you're balancing and you have a bunch of weight sort of underneath your big toe, underneath your pinky toe, and on the heel, and you sort of form like a tripod, that is when you'll be most stable. All right, good note, Danny. Okay, what are we doing? We're moving on into our second stretch. The second stretch is a butterfly stretch, and I recommend you do this with your back up against the wall. Right now I got this thing, and I'm gonna put my glutes, my butt, my shoulders, my back, my head all against the wall. This thing for me, wall for you. And when you do that, One, you get to practice and experience what nice posture is supposed to feel like for the first time in a while and go, oh, wow, my posture has been real bad. But most importantly, when we're doing the butterfly stretch, it will keep our back supported so we can focus on the parts that matter, the actual groin stretch. All right, so let's take our feet, bring them together, pull them in, and we're ready to begin. From here, the goal of this stretch is to stretch the groin muscles. The way you do that is by bringing your knees down into the ground. I want you to get stronger. I want you to get more mobile by making you a badass with control over your muscles. So I want you to use your outer thigh muscles and your glutes to open up your legs. All right? If it's one of your first couple of times joining, you're like, what muscles are those? How do I do that? Don't worry necessarily about which muscles you're activating. Just focus on whether or not your knees are going down into the ground. If they are going down and then getting stuck, if they went down a little bit and now you're just kind of like vibrating because you're trying so hard, but you're not strong enough to overcome whatever other tension is going on, that's fine. You're doing the right thing already. Cool? The only way you could be messing up is if your knees are coming together like this. All right? Now you've just gone in the wrong direction. So use the opposite muscles. Not that telling you the opposite muscles makes it any easier. All right? Cool. From here, once you've used your muscles to try and bring your knees down into the ground, what I want you to do is take your hands and I want you to apply a little pressure over here just below your knees. When you do this, you are able to push your legs down deeper into the stretch. But it's very likely you'll also be pushing your shoulders and the back of your head, your neck, into the wall and might be a little bit uncomfortable. But bear with it. It makes your stretch way deeper, way more intense. We're holding this for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. My floor is a little slippery, so I'm not able to get into a really good version of this. But I'll do one side at a time instead. I'm holding my ankle down and I'm pushing my hip down. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 1, 0. All right, relax. Let all the muscles go and chill. If you just let go of your thighs, your wrists might be a little bit tired, and that's a-okay. Okay? From here, we're basically ready to move on. The only thing we gotta do is try to test to make sure our legs shake. All right? I want you to flap the wings of this butterfly. Flap, 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 flap. And once your legs are moving well and they're actually flopping around, we're ready to move on into stretch number 3. We're going to get into the standing pancake. The pancake stretch looks a little bit like this. We are going to open up our legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy, but if you get to 90 degrees, that's a really good spot to get to. Okay? From here, we're taking a look at this belly button, and we're trying to fold it down into the ground. Okay. From here, that's our starting position for the pancake. What I want you to know, I'm going to turn around so you can see it from the side, is we're basically getting into this toe-touching position, except our legs are a little spread out. All right? When we're in this position, we're trying, for the pancake at least, to get into a deeper forward fold. Forward fold, forward fold, forward fold. And we want to get to this point. Boom, we're flat so that our chest is in between our legs. And that's crazy. That's an intense, crazy stretch. So we're going to try to use gravity as much as possible to help us with our stretches. All right? And the way we do that is by trying to keep this upper body as close to horizontal as possible. And that is when you will feel the most leverage at the hips, and that is when it'll feel the most intense. You can make this feel even more intense by sticking your arms up so that your biceps are by your ears and chill. breathe for a second, you'll realize it suddenly feels way heavier, way more intense, pulling you down. If you're a masochist, you can grab a bottle of water or some weights, some dumbbells if you want, and you can hang out and use that to help bring you a little bit deeper into the stretch. All right, the goal here is to fold forward with your legs as far open as you comfortably can get. So go ahead, get started. If your floor is super slippery, like mine happens to be, feel free to try to stick your foot into the wall under the piece of furniture so that it stops moving on one side and you can just focus on the other side and keep that from sliding too far out. Cool? That's it. Let's go. Open up those legs. Open, 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 open. Open, open, open. Fold your belly button down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, fold some more. And when you're as deep as you can get for the moment, we are ready to begin. Wow, I'm so close to the camera. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to deal with this angle. All right. Oh, fold, 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 fold. We're ready. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If it's really intense, you can put your hands down and give yourself a little bit of support while you fold into the stretch. If you can, I recommend you plant your feet and just let gravity pull you down. I am on a really slippery surface today, and so I think I'm going to put my hands down because I cannot hold my legs into a strong enough position to control it. But you should play this by ear and see if you are strong enough to hold yourself in this stretched out position. Okay? Keep on folding. Bring that belly button down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on out of that stretch. Bring your legs in. You might have to go toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel until you come back into some sort of waddling position. Oh, man. That is our standing pancake. What you're feeling right now, what you should be feeling, is a whole bunch of tension here in the inside of the thighs and also a little bit of tension here in the hamstrings from folding forward. That is normal. What I was talking about and what I was adjusting for was because the floor I'm on is quite slipperier compared to the floor that I am used to. And so I cannot really get onto a good gripped position if I basically go past this depth right here. And this is probably the position where I could have had my best shot at getting the standing pancake. But I had my legs slightly further out than that, and I was not in a position I could control the stretch. So I was more nervous and more afraid of slipping out into a weirder, more painful position. And that fear made it so that I wasn't able to get a good stretch in that standing pancake just now. So the reason why I bring it up is I want to remind you that if you feel insecure, if you feel like you're slipping a little bit, it's going to make getting the stretch a lot more difficult. That's why I briefly mentioned if you put one of your legs into the wall or one of the legs into something super stable, that will help you find a more stable position, a more comfortable position for you to focus on the stretch in. Okay? So if you're also traveling at some point and you're trying to do the stretches, you need to figure out adjustments to make it go a little bit smoother. At least that is one tip to help make things a little bit easier. I took off my socks thinking that would be enough. It was not. So that's tip number 2, take off your socks. All right. We just did the standing pancake. That's the third of our 5 stretches. We're going to move on into our 4th stretch. It's the figure 4 or the pigeon. You can do either one. If you're a regular, you know exactly what you like, go ahead and get into that position. This morning, so about 12-ish hours ago, we did the figure 4. So I think we're going to do the figure 4 again. I think on the weekends, at least on the days when we do both the 9 a.m. and the 9 p.m. live, I'm going to try and stick with the same stretch. Okay? All right, let's get into the figure 4. To do the figure four, what we're doing is laying down on our backs. Whew, nice and chill and relaxing. Don't fall asleep. That is not what we want. And I want you to lift one leg and cross the ankle over to the other knee. Like so, right? Like you're about to read a newspaper or something, and then you're just crossing your legs. That's what we want. From here, I want you to take your hand, put it through the triangle you just made in between your legs, and along the outside of the other leg. I want you to pull the knee in towards your face. Usually, you'll start feeling a stretch immediately, maybe in your hamstrings, maybe in your glutes, maybe in the side of the hips. What we want is most likely going to be a couple more pulls in. So I want you to pull. I want you to take a small breath and pull some more. Small breath. Pull some more. Small breath. Pull some more until you've pulled quite a bit. And, you're feeling like you're in a much deeper stretch than when you started. Once you are there, we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. 24. Keep on pulling that leg in towards your chest. 22. 21. 20. If you're feeling a whole bunch of tension in the knee, you can cup the knee and pull on it directly into your chest, and that should help take off some pressure on the knee. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let that leg go. Chill. Drop your arms off to either side. Let your legs flop to the left. Get a nice rotation for your spine. Come back over to the other side. Do the same thing. I just got my back to crack a couple of times. Breathe. And do an extra if you like. We got one last figure four stretch. Let's go ahead and get into position. We're taking our legs and we are crossing one leg over the other. We're going to grab through the triangle and around the other leg. We're going to pull that leg in, and we're not just starting with a basic pull. We're going to pull 3 times. Give me a second. I got to spin around like a turtle real quick. And from here, we're pulling once. Pulling that leg in. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Pull a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Pull a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Once you've gotten quite a bit deeper, we're ready to start. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23. Again, if you want, cup your knee. Give it a little bit of protection. Give it a little bit of extra support. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. We're almost done. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. Let the low back relax. Chill. You can widen your arms, drop them off from side, or extend them out from your sides, and let your hips drop. Let the spine relax, rotate, twist, real quick, nice and gentle. And grunt and groan, of course. Make as many sound effects as you need to. I can't hear you, so you can do whatever you want. From here, we are done with 4 of our 5 stretches. The 5th and final stretch that we're going to do are the side splits. If you've never done a side split before and you're getting a little nervous, don't worry. We explain everything nice and slow, break it down into little pieces to make it a little bit easier. Okay? The first thing I want you to do is find a safe position. And I'll break that down too. You don't have to worry about that either. Okay. Oh. So far, we've done a whole bunch of stretches. All of those stretches have been to prepare our muscles, prepare our hips for the side splits here at the end. And what I want you to do before we actually do side splits is find a comfortable position to sort of fall back into, okay? What I mean by that is oftentimes when we're doing a side split, we're sitting in this crazy stretched out position. We're going to have our hands down on the ground. We're going to be kind of shifting our weight. We're going to be trying to figure out how to get deeper into the stretch. And while we're doing that, sometimes we're going to lose balance. We're going to start swimming through the air. We're going, no, we're falling backwards. But if you're standing 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall, in front of whatever this thing is called, if you fall backwards, your butt will rest against it and you'll be fine. Nothing will have happened. You'll be like, oh, cool. Now I'm leaning back. That's what I want you to do in order to help keep you safe. If you start falling backwards and you had nothing behind you but free space, you're going to fall on your butt. You're going to bust your butt open and it's going to hurt. So don't do that. All right? Usually I would demonstrate and fall backwards, but the floor is quite slippery, so I might actually fall backwards for realsies. So I'm not going to do it today. And I think that means it's time to start. Let's go. Come on up into standing. Open up the legs as wide as you can, comfortably. If you're starting to feel a whole bunch of pinching pain here in the hips, then you have gone too far. Bring your legs back in just a little bit. And once you're in a comfortable position, it's time to bring that belly button down into the ground. If this is starting to look a lot like the pancake that we did earlier, that is absolutely correct. The only difference here is we're trying to put our hands down on the ground. So if you can, put your hands down. If you cannot, you can elevate your hands with the yoga block. You can elevate your hands with the stool, some old textbooks that you should sell but won't. And that's cool. That's your starting position. Cool? From here, we're going to do the most important thing in our whole entire live. Since I'm really close to the camera, I'm going to scoot my whole body over so you can see what's going on with this foot right here. Okay? Right now, our feet are flat on the ground. What we want to do is rotate this whole leg backwards so that the heel is down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up, and your quad muscles are pointing up. All right? This is going to rotate our thigh bone so it does not smash into some of the other hip infrastructure here, so that our bones don't smash into each other, right? Then all we have left to work on is our muscles. So that's one leg. I'm going to do the other leg. Rotate. Toes are pointing up, knees are pointing up, heels are down. And from here, I want you to rest, try to relax, sit back into this position. However high you are, that is okay. All right? Keep your hands in between your legs. If your hands are really far forward, you're going to feel more of a stretch here in the inner thighs. If your hands are really far back, you're going to feel it more in your hamstrings. You need a combination of both to get your side splits, so experiment. Try both. All right? Do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can break the friction, holding your feet back from a deeper stretch. And once you have gotten as deep as you feel like you can for the moment, we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23. 22. 21. 20. Try your best to relax your leg muscles. Let the feet go. Let the calves relax. Your hips and your hamstrings might never relax, but that's a-okay. Let the glutes relax. Let the low back relax. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. Oh, that is enough. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in. And that is our first side split. I didn't say this yet, but We're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. So if you're joining in for the first time, that's how that works. Everything else was 1 round of 30 seconds, and then we just moved on. But for the side splits, for our last set of stretches, we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds. And in between each round, we're going to stand up and we're going to shake out the tension that we just created. If you're waddling like a penguin right now and your limbs aren't working quite as you'd like because of the side split, that is because there's a whole bunch of tension in your legs. And what we're going to do now is shake it all out. All right? I want you to flick one leg out to the side. I want that ankle to be floppy. I want it to be relaxed. I want it to shake, 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 wiggly. Turn your leg into some overcooked spaghetti and shake out the tension. All right? We're going to do the same on the other side. We're flicking the leg. Flick, 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 flick. The ankle is flopping around all over the place, going crazy. And by default, if your ankle is able to move all over the place, the muscles that control it, that point the toe, flex the toe, and do all this stuff, is relaxed, right? So now everything below the knee is relaxed. I want you to relax the whole leg, drop it down, get lazy with it, and just shake out your leg. Shake, 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 shake. How you relax the leg is not that important to me. All that is important is that the leg muscles are relaxed. So you can do this any number of ways of shaking out your leg, dancing, moving, and I'll demonstrate a couple of these. Pick whichever ones you like and keep doing them. All right. Next up, we're going to relax our hips a little bit. I want you to put all your weight into one leg. I want you to drop just the big toe of your foot down into the ground. And I want you to bring the knees in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Notice nothing else is moving. Just this leg, this thigh bone is rotating in and out. All right. Boom. That's adding a little bit of relaxation for the outside of the hip. Letting your legs relax a little bit. As you get more advanced with this, you can start turning into a stanky leg. All right, whoosh, whoosh, and do the other side. Stanky leg. Do the knees in and out. You can do this with your standing leg, actually standing. You can pop into a squat if you want. You can combine both legs and bring both legs in and out. Whew, that is probably enough. We can move on. Hopefully your legs are relaxed and not super overstressed from trying all these new things that I just told you about. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. Usually for most people, that's about 1.5 footsteps in front of the wall. And let's get into side split number 2. Open up those legs decently wide. And if your hips are starting to hurt, you've gone too far, bring your legs back in just a little bit. Now we're ready to bring that belly button down into the ground. Fold forward. Put your hands down for a little bit of stability. If you need to, use some blocks. Use a stool, use a chair for a little bit more support. From here, we're doing the most important part of our whole entire show. We are externally rotating this leg. Right now, our foot is still flat on the ground. What I want you to do is rotate the whole leg backwards. And when you do that, your quad muscles are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, your toes are pointing up, and your heels are down. We're going to do that on the other side as well. Oh, and now, when is my other foot going to show up on screen? There we go. Boom. Now, we're doing the side splits. When we do this, we rotate our thigh bones out of the way of our hip bones so that the bones aren't what's limiting us in our flexibility. It is just our muscles. From here, I want you to relax and wiggle and shake and see if you can get deeper into your side split. Oh, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle from side to side. We're ready to go. It's time. 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Try to relax into that stretch. Let the calves go, let the toes go, let the hamstrings, if they'll do anything at all, go. Glutes, relax. Low back, relax. 15, 14, 13. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward. We're done here. Oh, crawl. Bring your legs in underneath you. And, that is side split number 2. Chill for a second. Breathe. Relax. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, and come back into standing so you can shake out your legs a second time. You might be waddling around like a drunk penguin. That's okay. Give your legs a couple seconds to adjust and shake them out. All right, let's go. We're going to flick the legs, relax the ankles and the calves just like before. Stand, put all your weight into one leg, flick the ankles out, shake, 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 shake. If your ankles are going crazy, they're just loose to doing whatever the heck they want. Your calves are also going to be loose, accommodating your ankles. So that's our starting point. Once you've gotten that, I want you to relax, lengthen that leg, shake it out, wiggle, 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 rotate, rotate, flop around, turn yourself into overcooked spaghetti, and hopefully that leg is now relaxed. Other side, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 flop. Relax the leg, shake some more, wiggle, 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 and hopefully that leg is also relaxed. We're going to move on into our hips. Again, once we do the side splits, these muscles along the hips are usually pretty stressed out, pretty tired. If you add a little bit of gentle movement, it'll help relax the muscles. And as you get more skilled, you can turn that into something more cool. All right, so what have we done? All of our weight is in one leg. This leg, the ball of the foot, maybe the big toe is down. We're bringing the knees in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. As you get comfortable, you can pick up the pace. All right. You also can experiment with not going as far to either side, but picking up the frequency, picking up the pace even more. And if you put almost no weight on that back foot, on the side foot, and you start shaking real fast, you can get to the point where your whole leg starts looking like jello, your whole entire quad muscle starts flopping and vibrating, and now you have taken that relaxation all the way up the leg into some shaky, shaky stuff. All right? Same thing on the other side. Just the big toe is down. We're rotating the leg in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Then we're going to reduce how far in and how far out we go. So it starts looking like the whole leg is vibrating. Now the quad is shaking, changing directions, and the whole leg looks like it's shaking. That, hopefully, is helping your legs relax just a little bit more. Cool? Whew. I think it's time to get back into side split number 3. This is our third and final round of the side split. So let's begin. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever it is you're prepared to fall into and rest your butt on. For most people, I recommend a wall, okay? We're going to open up the legs now. Breathe. Chill. If there's no painful sensation here at the hips, then we are ready to fold. Fold, 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 fold. Put your hands down. Give yourself a little bit of support. If you can, it's time. Actually, there's no if you can. Skip that whole entire thought. We're ready to externally rotate these legs. Right now, our foot is flat on the ground. What we want to do is rotate the whole leg back. So, rotate that whole leg back. Knees are pointing up, toes are pointing up, heels are down on the ground, and do that on both sides. From here, take your time. Wiggle, squirm, shake, get deeper into the stretch. I recommend you do a little wiggle from side to side. That will help break the friction holding your feet back. If your floor is super extra slippery, you might not need extra help breaking the friction, but a gentle lean from side to side might push you a little bit deeper into the stretch. All right, once you're as deep as you can get for now, I want you to imagine, exhale and relax as many muscles as possible. Your toes were pointing up into the sky, but now relax those ankles, relax those calves, relax those legs, relax those hips. Just relax as much as you can. 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. If you're feeling a pinching sensation here at the hips, by the way, keep on trying to externally rotate so that you're rotating the leg even further back. Imagine your knees are pointing back behind you, your toes are pointing back behind you, and that should help a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that's it. Walk your hands forward, bring your legs in. That is our third and final side split stretch of the day. Oh, feel free to, once again, grunt, groan, make as many obnoxious noises as you need to. I can't hear you anyway, so do whatever you want. From here, we're almost done. We're going to shake out our legs. We're going to shake out our arms one last time. We're going to do a couple of joint checks, and then I'll come back, check the Q&A, check the chat, see if there's anything I've missed, because I've been kind of back here trying to get through the live. All right, come back into standing. Oof. Oh. Waddle around like a drunk penguin for a second and shake out those hips. Move, relax, pound those muscles that are tender and stiff. And when you're ready, let's shake out those legs. All your weight is in one leg. We're flicking the leg. Flick, 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 flick. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Other side. Flick, 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 flick. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Again, your ankles are relaxed, and by default, your calves are super relaxed, and hopefully, you can let the whole entire leg relax. We're going to get into the hips. All your weight is in one leg. Just the big toe is down on the other leg. There's almost no weight in that leg. We're rotating the knee in and out and 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 in and out. And once you pick up the pace, you pick up the tempo, your whole leg looks like it's made of jello, and you can shake it out and have the quads go back and forth. Okay? Whew, other side. Shake, 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 shake. Again, you don't have to start that intense. You can go and focus on mastering those muscles first, so you rotate the leg out and in and out and in and out and in. As you get more comfortable, as you get more fast, you can start working towards that situation where you are getting your legs to turn into jello. All right? Okay. That hopefully is enough to relax your legs and help us move on into our joint checks. We're officially starting to wrap up, all right? For the joint checks, what I want you to do is start with a hip circle. Oh, yeah. We've stretched, we've worked a whole bunch of these hip muscles from a whole bunch of different angles. Especially after the side splits, I feel a whole bunch of tension here in the left and right side of the hip. I like to give myself a couple of seconds here on either side. Maybe if you lean real deep, you can also turn it into an oblique stretch. If you feel like you need it somewhere else, take a couple of seconds, work on those. Maybe you feel a really tight stretch in your hip flexor. Maybe your low back is real stiff and you lean forward a little bit. Let the back relax. Whatever it is, take a couple seconds and we'll be ready to move on in just a bit. All right, we're ready to move on. Next step, we're going to do a quick high knee. We basically open with this with the hip cars right at the beginning, but we want to make sure you're still working those hip flexors, you're still able to lift the leg nice and strong, and we're ready to move on to the final thing. We're going to do some squats and some calf raises in those squats. I want your feet relatively close together. And I want you to try your best to spread your toes, widen that stance, and grip the floor whoosh, like you have claws. I don't know if that makes as much sense with the toes, but yeah. All right. From here, we've basically just woken up our toes a little bit, nothing crazy. What I want you to do next is pop into a squat, but I want you to fold your chest towards your knees so that you're kind of leaning forward into the ground a little bit, right? Your knees can be bent. They don't have to be totally straight. This isn't a hamstring stretch necessarily. We're just trying to find a nice spot, really deeply folded forward. Cool? From here, I want you to push your knees forward past your toes. When you're in this position, your body wants to fall forward. And to keep your body from falling forward, your toes should be working overtime, trying to grip the ground, holding you upright. All right? That means your feet should also be working pretty hard to keep you upright. If your knees are pushed forward, you should be feeling a tight stretch in your Achilles tendon. Your calves should be very tense. You can poke them just to check. Your quads are probably crying and telling you to finish this up already. Jeez. And your glutes and your low back are probably getting quite tired. From here, we're going to do a couple of quick calf raises. I want you to focus on bringing your weight just above that, or just behind the big toe. I want you to bring yourself up into a calf raise. And down. And calf raise. And down. If you feel like you're going to fall forward, you can put your hands down, or you can support yourself with something else. And keep going. 3 or 4 is fine. Pop into that squat, come back up into standing. What we just did forced our toes, our feet, our ankles, our heels, our knees, our quads, our low back to work together, so those joints, those muscles are working pretty well, hopefully, if you were able to do a couple of those calf raises. All right, they didn't have to be perfect, but as long as you were able to relatively balance, relatively come up from that position with your calves, you're probably doing pretty good. All right, with that, we're done. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits and hip mobility with me today. We just wrapped up, I don't know how long, 75 minutes of live side split stretching. That's a little bit longer than 45 and definitely still longer than 60 minutes. But I hope you had fun. I hope you're feeling loose and ready to go maybe to bed or tackle whatever else you want to tackle today. Somebody's sending in a whole bunch of roses right now and the count keeps going up. 57, 59. Oh my gosh. Paul, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. 69 roses. That's hilarious. Okay. Thank you, Paul. Oh. What else do you need to know? We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're not in the Eastern time zone, you don't know what time that is. We started an hour and 15 minutes ago. That is our standard time. On the weekends, however, which is right now, we have a bonus live at 9 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday mornings. That means in 10 hours and 45 minutes tomorrow morning, we have another live at 9 a.m. We basically do the same workout every single day, so you don't have to turn your brain on and work really hard. Again, this live is all about consistency. You can have the best plan, but if you don't follow through on it, you're not going to make very much progress, and it's probably not the best plan. So we're trying to make this as easy for you as possible to show up, practice consistency. All right? Once you've learned the moves, you can spend more time in the stretches. You can do whatever you got to do. All right. Is that enough of a spiel? I think that's most of the spiel. Hit follow, hit subscribe. Do those cool things. Keep coming back. And hopefully we can keep on practicing that hip mobility, practicing better movement on the ground, getting on and off the ground, playing with kids, all those cool things. And, you know, the side splits, that thing we were just suffering and doing for the last couple of minutes. Cool? All right. I am going to come back. I'm going to turn off some of these lights. I'm going to sit on my butt and read some of these comments because I have not been back here for a little bit. Whew. Give me just a second. I'm going to scroll up real quick, see if there is anything that I urgently need to respond to. I'm going to scroll from the very top down. Che says hello. Welcome back, Che. Che can hear us. Sound is great, says Travel with Roxy. Good, good, good. Geez, Luigi wrote, my hip bones are stiff a lot. I do the Asian squat easily. It's very common for your hip bones to be stiff. I do a lot of stretches with you guys live every single day. I drove for about 3 hours today, and as soon as I got out of the car, I could barely move. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit when I say I could barely move, but the point is it's very common for your muscles, your bones, to start feeling quite stiff if you're stuck in a position for a little bit. Most of the time, the easiest thing you can do is add a little bit of movement and focus on the things that need to be loosened. Especially after driving for a long time, my low back is very, 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 very stiff. And I need to do something that looks, like a cat-cow stretch, but from a seated position. Maybe while I'm driving, I'm kind of just casually doing something funky like this. And that little bit of movement helps loosen up the back, and a little bit more movement helps me actually feel a little bit better. Usually I have to get out of the car though. So that is not totally crazy. And I don't know if there's something really obvious, something really easy that you could be doing to help with the stiffness other than moving more. I'm going to keep scrolling. Gayeta says, we got this. Welcome back, Gayeta. Thank you for being here. You just reached member level 9. I don't even know what that means. Or sorry, level 10. Member level 10. I don't know what that means, but thank you for being level 10. Yoki has followed the live creator. Hey, that's me. Josh Tree says, second time I did the stretches today. Welcome back, Josh. That's crazy. Have you done double live on the weekends before? Because you've been doing the lives for a while now. It's been at least 2 weeks. If not way more than that. The lives start blending together, so I can't remember things when I have to keep track of time. I'll remember fun facts. All right, I'm going to scroll down and see what else we got. CC2453 says, awesome. Paul says, hey, welcome back, Paul. And EO Kings, I saw this earlier, asks, do I have to keep the back arched while doing this? Most of the time, the back can be relatively straight, horizontal, and you can do most of the motions that you need to be able to do from that position. Neutral is right. And let's see. Danny says stability, heel down. Yes, in the Cossack switch, we want to keep the heels down so that the foot can form a tripod, right? So this part of the foot right underneath your big toe. Wow, using the hand to demonstrate foot is really kind of weird, even though it's like the same but different. Underneath your big toe and underneath your pinky toe, and then like your heel, right? That sort of forms a tripod. On a palm, it looks a little bit weird and it's not quite the right shape. It'd be more like, this and this. But that's the shape that we want to have our feet make on the ground for maximum stability. And that is absolutely right. Okay, I'm scrolling back down to the bottom. Give me just a second. I am almost there. Oh, wow. Okay, there's a whole bunch of chat. Hold on. All right. We got a whole bunch of thank yous from, I don't know what language that is in, but somebody wrote, thank you, Ken. I love this. I appreciate it. Thank you. Stop Hitting Whippets says, thank you so much. Paul Diesel says, LMAO. I had no idea. Love these sessions so much. Good for runners' legs. Amazing. Oh, right, because you sent 69 hearts or something. And I was like, haha. Of course you didn't know. You had no idea. No way. Travel Director says 100%. Dana Hafner requests us to follow her. Travel Director says, thank you for today. Gina K says, could I be notified? You can sort of be notified. I'll try to be better about this. I have not been super good about this, but on my profile, there should be something on the screen, probably on the profile page before the videos and underneath the profile picture that says the live. It will say the words live. That is schedulable, so it is highly possible that you can click live and maybe be notified that you want to come back to it later. I'm not 100% sure because I don't watch anybody else's live, so I should probably do that and figure out how that button works. But alternatively, if you hit follow, if you hit subscribe, it's a lot more likely that a notification will be sent to you when I do go live. And the last resort, which I know has worked for some people, is I think Gayeta sets an alarm for when the lives are and just comes in when that alarm rings. That's probably the most reliable and easiest thing to control. But all the other things kind of work too. Tatted Wonder says, so weekends are in the AM and PM. Yes, absolutely. We are doing AM and PM. Gina K says, sciatic nerve pain on left leg. If you have sciatic nerve pain in the left leg, hold on, let me caveat this. I'm not an expert in sciatic nerve pain, so I have very little confidence in whatever I'm about to say. So you should take massive grains of salt, blocks of grains of salt, throw it over your shoulder. I don't even know what else you do with grains of salt. Throw it over your shoulder. However, I have heard that for nerve pain, something important to do is to make sure your nerves slide and move inside your body. All right. So I mentioned this briefly at the beginning, not necessarily the beginning, when we were doing, what were we doing? The elephant walk. So relative beginning, we talked about that tingling sensation in your toes when you're doing a stretch. That is often called nerve stretching, nerve gliding, nerve flossing. And what you're doing there is you're having the nerves move around in your body. The nerves are like this weird, crazy, meshy thing that runs along your whole entire body, right? From your brain down to your toesies. And they navigate the pain, they send signals to tell your muscles to contract, that type of stuff, right? Somewhat controlled by the brain. I mean, everything's controlled by the brain, somewhat consciously controlled by you via the brain. And because they're a physical thing, sometimes you can get them to wiggle, you can get them to move around inside whatever it is that they're tucked in inside your body. That is called nerve stretching and nerve flossing. For the sciatic nerve, I have heard that if you get into positions that kind of look vaguely like this, where you're folding forward and you bend a leg and you work on straightening out that leg, it's probably way easier to do this on the ground. If you get into this type of position and you focus on straightening out the leg, you can force the nerves to move around a little bit, and you can potentially get the sciatic nerve to chill out a little bit and shift around. I don't know if that's 100% true. You're going to have to fact check me on that. But I would recommend you go check that out. Cool? Okay. Charles responding to Gina. I think that you might be able to turn on a notification on your end for lives, but I might be wrong. Thanks, Travel Darcy. That's basically what I said. I think you can, but I'm not sure. Gina says, thank you, sciatic pain. Can you help with sciatic pain? Lauren says, thank you, Ken. Gina says, love what you're doing. Che, what's for dinner? We had chili for dinner. Do you do stretches for sciatic pain? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can remember about sciatica. I think that's all I got. I'm pretty sure the main movement I was looking at when I was doing some research about sciatica was coming from that hamstring, that low back, and that shifting back and forth, right? We do a lot of it already, sort of in the elephant walks. If you didn't come in until later in the live, this probably would have happened in the first 10 minutes. We end up in a position that kind of looks like this. We're folding forward, right? And we're bending one knee, straightening out the other leg, and we're kind of shifting back and forth. When you're first starting this, you might be feeling a little bit of tingliness in your toes. You might be feeling a little tingliness in your calves. That tingliness is often the result of nerve stretching and nerve flossing. And that might be enough to help relieve some of the discomfort from sciatica in and of itself. So let me know if it does. And if that is something that does seem to help you, then you should keep doing that. The reason why I know it might help is because the toes are already making the tingly sensations, right? So they're already shifting back and forth. And a lot of that comes from the knees bending back and forth, going like this. So that's why I recommended that if you want to work on something specifically for sciatica, you lay down on your back, pull that knee in, and then work on straightening out that leg, forcing your nerves to move. But I'm not 100% sure that's the most effective way to do it. And yeah, that's all I got. I can definitely look into it. I it does seem to come up fairly often in the Q&A afterwards. I will look into it and see if I can collect some better information so I can provide some better information in the future. Okay? All right. And with that, I think we are ready to wrap up for today. There does not seem to be anything else to do. I got a comment over here on YouTube asking me to do a flip. I'm not going to do a flip, but I am going to suddenly remember to talk about some other things that I do. We make other content outside of the side split content. I do other things like teach you cool tricks and how to incorporate tiny little bite-sized pieces of exercise into your life. If you've been here during the live and you have struggled and worked on some of these stretches, you know 30 seconds is a long time. So don't sleep on those quick couple of minutes while you're waiting for the microwave to finish heating up your food, while you're waiting for the kettle to boil your water for coffee or tea. Don't waste those minutes just scrolling on your phone. You can do a great tiny little workout. That's the type of content that I create, so feel free to check out that stuff. I also have a YouTube video that I released, I think, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago at this point, where I'm breaking down a great beginner hand balancing skill if you want to try some calisthenics. All right, that skill is called the frog stand. I'm gonna demonstrate it real quick so that you know whether or not you're gonna go look for that video. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stick our elbows into sort of the soft squishy part in between our knees. I call these the knee bows. We go boop right on in there, and we do it on both sides. So this is called the frog stand. We're going to point our fingers up directly into the sky, straight up. We're going to spread our fingers, open up that palm as wide as possible. We're going to lean forward. And boom, our toes, our feet are coming off the ground. That is the frog stand. Super straightforward. You don't have to be very strong because you're not using that many of your muscles to hold yourself up. Most of it is your forearms sticking straight down into the ground, and you're turning yourself into a seesaw. All right, this is a very cool first move to learn some hand balancing. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. If you're on TikTok and you're like, what is he talking about? I have a YouTube account as well. The username is the same as on TikTok. It's at splits on the side. And the most recent long form video is about breaking down the frog stands, about 6 minutes long. And why do you care about the frog stand? Well, that's because you can turn into cool other moves. Once you figure out how to balance, you start navigating a whole new world of skills. After the frog stand, you got cool things like the crow pose, where instead of putting your elbow into your knees, you rest your knees onto your triceps. And you can start doing these with one leg. And then you can start doing other cool things. This is called a tuck planche, where you just don't rest your knees on anything and you put all your weight onto your hands. And that one is exhausting, and it's a precursor, a beginner version of a planche, where you stick your legs straight out behind you and you do some crazy looking stuff. And I'm nowhere near strong enough to demonstrate that. So I think this is time for me to wrap up because I'm tired. Okay, crawling back. Oh. Savage Set says every single day. I don't know if you're saying that just because you write that, or if you know that we do this live every single day, because we do. So if you've been here before and you've commented, I just don't remember your username. I'm sorry. But if this is your first time and you know we do this every single day, thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we do this live every single day to practice consistency, build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet so we can suffer on the floor and make a bit of progress towards our side splits, towards better hip mobility. Okay, my mouth is dry. I need to go drink some water. It's time to go and get some water. Gina asks, does TikTok pay me? No. Nuh-uh. When people send like those little gifts, I was joking about, I think, Paul Diesel sending 69 roses or something earlier. I think each of those roses are worth basically like a penny or something. So while those are super nice and I appreciate the love, no, it doesn't really make any money at all. I spend this time here with you guys because it helps me practice consistency. I want to work on the splits, and now I'm creating a little bit of a cool environment for us to do it together. So what do I earn from the lives? Your appreciation, mostly. I grow the account, and at some point, hopefully, there'll be a day where I'll be able to find some form of ethical way to monetize the attention and stuff. But that probably isn't going to come up anytime soon. So, right now, the lives don't bring in any money at all, if that's what you're wondering. Cool? All right, we are 90 something minutes. Yes, growing a community, hanging out, building good vibes. that's the mission. Gina asks, what state are you in? I'm usually in New York State, but for the last couple of months, I've been traveling slowly around places because, traveling in Southeast Asia is cheaper than rent in the US for the most part. Cool. All right, that's it. I'm ready to wrap up. I'm still a little bit jet lagged. My eyes are closing. When we do the figure four and the pigeon and we're just chilling, my eyes are closing the whole entire time. Gina's in Montreal. Oh, cool. We're in the same time zone. So it's 10:34 p.m. Eastern. We are live once again, in 10.5 hours. So I will see you guys all super soon if you want to come. You don't have to start your day with side splits, but if you do, I'll be here in 10.5 hours. Cool. I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye. And Gina, I will probably not do any research between now and then because I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you.